Hey guys, welcome back, Blessed Be. Today's been really a strange day. After everything that happened yesterday, I did have a really strange dream this morning. Something about Loki changing me into a tiger. And I was his tiger, and there was somebody else, and they had a person they had turned into a wolf, and something else. And there was something like we had to swim in water, underwater, to protect them. And it didn't make an ounce of sense. And I'm not sure what it was about, but it was like there was like the tiger form, and I kind of had to like touch the tiger form to be able to become a tiger. And then I was like a tiger. And I wasn't just any tiger, I was a male tiger. And I'm like, this is interesting. So I was this big tiger, and I had the paws and the fangs and the claws and everything. And it wasn't like tiger's your totem or something. I don't think it was like Loki saying tiger is your totem or anything. It was just, I was a tiger. I was a tiger. I don't know where he was going with that. But that is actually all that happened. And I was kind of like let down today because I'm like, well, as I told you in the video, I like welcome them back in, and I'm like, well, we're going to have more activity now. And we had a little wee bit yesterday because of the 4th of July. I'd be running around too if explosions were going off all the time. But after that, nothing. The flower garden looks pretty. And I did find a stick that I swear to the gods I'd seen it. And I've been beating myself up the last couple of days because I hadn't grabbed it. And I went out and came back. And there it was again. So I got it and brought it home. Now, there's nothing special about it. I couldn't even tell you the type of wood. It might even be from somebody's hedges for all I know. But it was like kind of curvy, like kind of twisted, and it kind of looked like it had like a little handle. But it really doesn't. I mean, it's just a branch, but it kind of reminded me of like a shillelagh or something. I'm like, this would be such a cool gift for them. And it's not like that a human could walk with it. Well, humans come in all sizes. I suppose the right size human could walk with it, but it's like child size, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's like 2.5 feet. And I just thought, well, it was one of those things that called to me. Now, it was strange because I had seen in the park yesterday, I'd seen a bit of wood on one park bench, and I thought, oh, somebody made their dog a fetch toy, but it was unusual because all the bark was taken off and everything, and I've worked with wood, and it takes, like, depending on the wood, it takes a fair bit of doing to get the bark off. I thought, well, I'll leave it there, other people can play with their dog. Then I go a little ways on to the other park bench, and there's one there too, and I just didn't touch them. I didn't bring them home because I wasn't sure what was going on, if it was just coincidence or it was them or what, but usually that used to be their calling card. But the funny thing was, and you can comment below on the strangest thing Loki's ever told you. We're finally getting into the video. Loki's always told me that he had connections with Ireland and that he's always been there, and not that he was one of the Irish gods or that he was one of the good people or something like that. Nothing like that. But he's always told me he's always had a connection to Ireland. He's always been there. Like a lot of the stuff he says to you, I was like, yeah, all right, Loki. Of course you've always been in Ireland. Mm-hmm. And because he'll tell me stuff like, well, I've always been in Japan or I've always been in Ireland. I'm like, yeah, sure you've been. And in a sense, he's right because he's a god and he's everywhere. But in another sense, I just kind of always brushed it off because I'm like, well, I know as a god you are everywhere and you're everywhere at once, and I can't wrap my tiny little human mind around that, but I kind of would let it go in one ear and out the other because I'm like, he's never really shown up in the cultures, but I think I know what he means. Like, the Norse gods have always been everywhere, which is why everybody can work with them, and gods native to the Americas have always been everywhere, which is why everyone can work with them, because they're gods. It makes some people shiver in their boots to think of every god having a lot of the powers given to you know who. But from my experience of working with them, it's actually true. Now, our ancient ancestors would have said that gods only had power over small, tiny, tiny region, but it was just no one else. Think of it like broadcasting, and if you have the right receiver, you can pick up the broadcast. It's kind of like that. If nobody outside the certain area had that receiver, they wouldn't pick up the broadcast. Do you see what I mean? So I think that he's probably telling the truth. He's always been there. I don't think he made it up off the top of his head. First I thought he was teasing. But it's interesting because he's like, well, what do you think they're doing here anyways, and why do you think you have so many gods and goddesses from so many places? No, that doesn't hold true for everyone. Everyone that works with Loki is not going to have like a god and goddess from here, or work with anyone from Ireland, or which not and what not. And the funny thing was, in my dream last night too, I had been spending time with my parents, and I knew I was in the land of the dead spending time with them, and we were in a mall, and they were both younger. I bet they were like both back into their 40s, so like they were like around my age as I am now, but I was like a child when they were in their 40s. And I was on good terms with my dad. All the crap that had started, he had told me something, and there was basically something wrong with him his whole entire life, and he apologized for what he'd done. And again, I don't think this is like Loki pulling something. I think like I've gone to the land of the dead a lot of times in my dreams, and I think it was them showing they'd always provide for me, and it was like nice spending time with them. We weren't so much as buying like really expensive things, but like we were getting like treats and stuff, like, which is what we always used to do. We were never that kind of family, as you can see from behind me, like all the magnets and that we had to have like the most huge expensive thing out of the store. Well, my mom would usually be content with like a thimble or like a magnet or something. But they were actually happy, and like, I didn't remember at the time, but there was like a huge amount of compressed information in it. Like, they were glad that I had taken the house and made it my own. I mean, oh my god, if my parents were still alive, you would not see, well, one, I wouldn't be doing this channel probably, or if I was, I would be doing it from a basement. I have an office in the basement, and two, you would not see all this stuff around here. I decorate like a gypsy, is what my grandmother used to say, because she used to tell my mother she dressed like a gypsy and I decorate like a gypsy. And I've always been told by people that come in, like, I have like so much in layers, and they don't know where I get it from. And it's just, that's how I feel comfortable. To me it feels cozy. Like, a lot of layers, and it feels cozy, and the only reason I don't have, like, more of the FNAF stuff back down is because I like having it upstairs, too, but, like, I change stuff around. I'm a Gemini, so we're changing stuff all around. You can see lean the other way. You can see Toy Freddy came back. He's there underneath Memphis. There's the Phantom poster, and then there's Toy Freddy back there, and that is Memphis hanging up back there. He's from a local post office, so... that is Memphis the monkey, named for the song about walking in Memphis. Yeah. And, it was just interesting all this happened because, today, like, they have, like, everybody's been pretty quiet. Like, I expected, like, big stuff to be going on today on, like, all that energy from the 4th, but the night of the 4th was kind of subdued. Here it was like kind of subdued. There was like fireworks, but they weren't like years before. I mean, years before you could, from about sunset to like 1, 2 in the morning, you would hear a pretty good stream of fireworks, and you're not hearing that anymore. People, I guess, have changed how they do stuff, and they start on the 1st, and then by the 4th, they don't have anything much to do with. And I had done like some smoke bombs. And, well, not smoke bombs. Like, what do you call those smoke ones? The smoke fireworks. You call them smoke bombs? I'd done 2 of those, and I'd done like a very, very last sparkle bang thing. I did 2 of those. So, and nothing was going to work to come out on camera. I'm learning the fine art of, sometimes I'll even try to film it, and if it just doesn't look good, it never goes up. It gets tossed out. And I was just surprised because the energy now is like really serene and everything. And it made me think today of, how unusual God Loki can be. Because he always used to tell me, like, he was in all those places. I used to go, and just like, sure you are, and kind of ignore it. And like, today he's been like really quiet, and it feels like he's expecting something to happen, and he's like kind of just watching, and he's waiting for something to happen. And it's something good. It's like he's watching me and like waiting for my reaction. And I don't know what it will be. I mean, like, I had some groceries arrive in the mail today, and I had like a pizza kit for the other channel, but it's nothing like that. He's waiting for something to happen, and he's kind of just like, he's kind of eager to see my reaction. I know he's excited, so it's gonna be something good, but I'm not quite sure what it is yet. And he's been really quiet today, like, which is unusual because usually, he and I are the ones that spend all the time together. But with everyone getting settled, I think he stepped back a little, and he's been like, well, I'm going to step back, and I'm not going to directly inspire you so much about myself because I want you to go work on these other relationships. And it's been good in a way, but it's not what I'm used to. Do you know what I mean? I'm like used to always having ideas for this channel and always having a video to put out about Loki, and I'm like a little at sea now because it's like I should be getting ideas every day. But I've noticed today too, working on the other channel, I managed like 1 video for the next day because I try to work ahead so that like if I don't feel good that day or whatever, or at least to get some consistency. But it's been unusual because he's been really, really quiet, and it's like, I know he wants me to work on getting everyone settled, and I thought everyone was pretty much settled, and he was going to come to the foreground again, but he's been really quiet. I mean, he'll talk to me when I'll talk to him and everything else, but he's been really quiet. He hasn't been getting into any mischief. He hasn't been, not that I want him to, but he hasn't been doing anything for attention, and I haven't felt like nudges or anything. He's really, really quiet. And there are probably Lokeans out there going, oh no, it's the quiet before the storm. It's quiet before the Loki storm. No, I did notice some weird things going on with the computer today, but I don't think it was him. It didn't feel like his energy. I think like some of the others getting settled, maybe they were like batting at things, but like it was more like playful. It was like annoying, but it was more like playful, like just some glitchy stuff. So I don't know, but it's been weird today. It's definitely been weird because he's never this quiet for this long, ever. And I had made sure backwards and forwards that, he wanted everyone that was coming back to come back, because I'm like, are you absolutely, absolutely, absolutely sure? Because I don't want this to be a thing where everyone's back and you think you're not needed or something, and like you go off for a while. And he's like, no, no, no. But like today, like I had the dream this morning, but he's been quiet today. And the more I think about it, the more it's starting to worry me, because I can feel that he's still around, but he's super quiet. And I'm like, uh-oh. It's not like ominous quiet, but it's like he's super quiet. Like he's either waiting for that reaction, but at the same simultaneous time, I'm getting this idea of like one of the darker paths just standing there with his arms crossed. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I don't remember saying anything bad to him or making like an insulting gesture, because you guys know I'm like, from my past, I'm like, I dot every I, cross every T. I like triple check stuff, and I'm like, usually with the gods and that, I'm always apologizing, and they're like, oh God, stop apologizing, or I'm always saying thank you. And they're always like, okay, calm down. And I'm like, that's how I was raised. But, so he gave me those gifts, but now he's like very quiet. I guess he's like off somewhere, maybe resting and recuperating. I don't know, but he's really quiet today. That's actually starting to worry me. I guess maybe because, you know, when you have two channels, sometimes to work on the not main channel, other channel, have to kind of take my eyes off the prize. You know what I mean? I don't get to work with Loki as much as I want to, because I have to put all my mental energy towards what am I gonna do now on this channel. And maybe that's it. I don't know. But he's really quiet today. But yeah, say in the comments below, what is the strangest thing Loki ever told you? And as far as you know, he was being serious. Not like one of his jokes or something, because he's always playing jokes on us. That's how he shows you he loves you. But what's the strangest thing he ever told you and he was being serious? I mean, telling me he's always been everywhere, and I've like just come to accept it because I finally realized he wasn't joking. Like he would kind of say it playfully, and I'd just write it off as sure you have. But now I realized the playful was like more happy, like, oh, I've always been there. Sure you have. Because he would like tell me stuff about like one day he wanted me to go to Japan because Japan's so nice. That's how like he figured me and Tengu so well because he knows them and But I'm more inclined, the older I get, I'm more inclined to believe him because he usually doesn't totally make up too many nonsensical stories. I mean, usually know when he's being silly. And this is just, it's, at least off the top of my head, it's the strangest thing he's ever told me. Oh, I've always been in Japan, I've always been in Ireland, I've always been everywhere. I'm like, okay. And again, he's not saying he's every trickster deity you've ever thought of. I mean, I have him and I have Lakeba, and I have him and I have so forth and so on. It's not like he's saying, like, go ahead, compress everything down. If I did, I'd be hearing about it. I mean, oh my God, if I totally forgot Lakeba, I'd be hearing about it from Lakeba, not from, not from Loki or anything. And Lakeba knows I love him to bits. But if you like what you see, guys, like, comment, subscribe. He's just really quiet. Maybe he's exhausted. Maybe he was the one ferrying me back and forth from the land of the dead. I've always thought it was Baron doing it, or, maybe Santo or something, but maybe it was Loki. Some people think he's like a psychopomp and, has rulership in the land of the dead and such forth and so on. I don't know. I'm of the point where as long as you aren't hurting yourself, I tend to believe it all. If you tell me you've got angel vibrations and you're part unicorn, I'm like, hey, cool. I don't know. I don't know everything. You could be part unicorn. I don't know. So yeah, guys, you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.